Welcome to the first video edition of the Chief Executive Briefing. The purpose of the briefing is to share with you good news from right across the organisation, as well as a little bit about the performance from the previous month. Earlier I chatted with Sister Anne Parker to understand a little bit more about what the Acute Assessment Centre offers and the sorts of patients that we see. So Anne, tell me a little bit about the sorts of patients that the AAC sees on a daily basis.
Well, every day we take in the acute medical patients that are admitted that would have gone through the accident and emergency department, which now come to us. So we'll take diabetic patients, renal failures, that type of things. The patients that tumble over, the frail elderly, we assess them and we see if we can discharge them and send them home quickly rather than keep them in, causing any further confusion to them.
And how long roughly do patients stay with you?
Our average length of stay is about 0.5 days. But the main aim is to improve flow through ED, to get patients in the right departments, right wards, reduce the length of stay.
Now I just want to spend a few moments talking about operational performance during August. August was an incredibly busy month, especially when compared to previous years. But despite that, the hospital as a whole managed to achieve the majority of its standards. Flow through the emergency department was particularly challenging, and on many days we struggled to achieve the 4-hour standard. That said, the majority of patients did receive care in a timely way through our emergency department. On the 18-week referral to treatment target, we've set ourselves a huge challenge to be able to reduce our backlog of patients waiting to be treated. August was an incredibly busy month, and a good number of our patients received their care. Despite a challenging start to the year, we saw significant improvements in infection control and no infections during August. I don't underestimate how difficult that's been and the number of changes that all staff have put in place in order to make sure that we perform that well. Finance continues to be a challenge and will no doubt continue to be for the remainder of the year. But for August we performed well and we achieved the cost savings that we set ourselves. Finally, in respect of the Care Quality Commission action plan that we created following the visit earlier this year. August was a busy month where a number of our key policies and procedures were developed and approved in order that we can continue to make improvements to the care that we delivered. Well, autumn's with us, and in the first week of October we'll be starting this year's flu vaccination campaign. More staff than ever had their vaccination last year, and that meant that we were able to protect more patients and your families from the flu itself. We're hoping to get the vaccine during the first week in October, so as soon as it's available we'll be coming out to wards and departments to make it easy as possible for you to get your jab. Please do try and go that extra mile to make sure that you're able to get the vaccine. LIA, or Listening into Action as it stands for, continues to be rolled out across the Trust. On the 15th of October we have our Pass It On event, when our first teams will be sharing with us the progress that they've made over the course of the last few months in adopting the methodology. We're now looking for our next set of teams, so if you or your colleagues are interested, do get in touch with Kay Burchett, who is our LIA facilitator. Well, that's it for this month. Thank you for taking the time to listen. Next month we'll be focusing on dementia and the work of our dementia team and dementia champions. Thank you.